G'day guys. A friend recently picked up a bulk electronics lot locally for cheap, and they found this SD2SNES inside. Since they don't have an SNES, they asked me if I could take a look, see if it even works, and if it's any good. I don't know too much about these SD2SNES Flash Carts, but I have been reading online that there are a lot of different versions of this, with varying compatibility for games with special chips inside. It looks like one of the ways to determine if it's any good is to see what FPGA it's using. So we'll start by opening it up. So this is using the PAL region style case, which is the same as the Japanese Super Famicom games. There's not too much on here. There is a micro USB port on top, along with an 8GB micro SD card. This obviously houses the ROMs. I'm not too sure what the USB port's for. So we'll take the SD card out. We'll take these two screws out. Guessing it does just unclick. So with the two screws removed, both halves of the shell are just clipped together. And a little bit of force on the cart edge, prying it apart, does open it up safely. We'll take the board out. There is an SRAM battery, which is good. So I'm guessing it supports cart saving. The PCB was jammed inside the case pretty tightly. So there's our FPGA there on the right. And unfortunately, it is an ICE branded chip. And looking at the Reddit post, it is apparently the worst revision of this SD2SNES. Apparently, a lot of the games do freeze or just don't work at all. So that is a bit of a shame, but we'll try it out anyway. So on the top left of the PCB, it does say newest Pro version, revision X2, 30th of June, 2023. We'll put it all back together and pop the SD card into our computer. We're over on our Windows computer now, and I've plugged the SD card into my laptop. You can see it here, D drive, SD2SNES. And it does appear to be full of games already. I've noticed Mega Man X2's on there. Super Mario World Yoshi Island. That just could be the Japanese name. And there wasn't too many on the root, but if we go to all these folders, we've got All Stars, which is in its own folder. Euro PAL games. Here's all the games here. So we'll see if all the big ones are there. So Donkey Kong Country. Only 3 and 1. There's no Donkey Kong Country 2. Doom's on there, which is interesting because that is a Super FX chip game. We'll see if there's any Mega Man games. Yeah, we got the 4 Mega Man X ones. Oh, 3 Mega Man X and Mega Man 7. Legend of Zelda. That is there as well. What about Mario World? There's Yoshi's Island there. That is also a special chip game. So the Metroid's there. So what about these CX4 chips? So X2's there. X3. So all the big games are on here. What about USA? So Diddy's Conquest is under the USA NTSC ROM pack. I might make a folder called hacks. I do have one ROM hack I want to test. And I'm just going to copy Super Ryu World, which is a Super Mario World ROM hack. We'll put it in our hacks folder. I might also copy Mega Man X2. It was already on the SD card, but I'm wondering if they've patched it somehow. So we'll go to my hacks folder and I'll pop X2 in there as well. Also looking online, it looks like the micro USB port on the SD2SNES is mainly for accessing debug features. So apparently you can read and write directly to the RAM and ROM, and it looks like it might be used for randomizers, but again, not too sure on that one. I will plug it into my computer and just see what it shows up as in Device Manager. So just connecting my micro USB cable to the port. Windows didn't enumerate, which means that it didn't detect anything. We'll go have a look at Device Manager. That is part of the laptop. So nothing's shown up. So you must need to either get special software for it, or the USB port does nothing on this version, or it's something completely different again. We'll close out of this, pop the SD card back into the SD2SNES, and I'll go dig out my old SNES console. We'll set it up and we'll see if it works. Alright, so I've busted out my old SNES console and a cheap little LCD TV. So the picture quality is not going to be the best, but it is just for testing. Power it on. You'll notice there was blinking lights, and here's our little menu. So I think we'll start with just something simple, Donkey Kong Country. So we'll go down. You can press right to skip pages, which is handy. We'll go DKC1, just pressing A to start it. And it loads instantly, which is good. So there's no save files. I'm not too sure if there should be any. And yeah, that seems fine. No issues at all. We'll quit out of this one and we'll change game. I'll just press reset and see if it goes to a soft menu, and it didn't. So reset actually resets the game. It doesn't reset the flash cart. I'll try just a hard power off. There we go. So reset actually resets the ROM, which is good if your game does require that. I think next we'll try something with the special chip. So we'll try Mega Man X2. So Mega Man X2. This is the one that came with the cart, not my version. And it seems fine so far. I am going to swap the controller out because some of the buttons just are a bit funky. Much better. I'm just using a regular SNES controller. It's got the dollar price tag on it from back in the day. Don't know where I got it from. So yeah, Mega Man X2 seems perfectly fine, and that does use one of the special chips. It is quite hard to emulate on lower end devices. Obviously this isn't emulation, but it is pretty cool that it works. Again, I'll try reset and see if it resets the game or the cart. And it does reset the game. Power it off and try a different game. I think we'll try Doom next, because it is another hard one to run. And it does use the original Super FX chip. So far it seems fine. And yeah, no issues here. We'll try Yoshi's Island, because that's another one that uses a special chip. It loaded instantly. And Yoshi's Island seems perfectly fine as well. I will finish the level so we can save, and we'll power off the system and see if the save did actually work. So as you can see, Yoshi's Island worked perfectly fine, no issues, no graphical glitches either. So I have finished the first level. I think we will power off the system, power it back on, and see if it actually saved the game. It did have an SRAM battery inside the cart. Pressing start does bring up the recently played games list, and there's my games that I tested, and all these ones are someone else's. So it does look like someone has tried this cart before. Again, it was from a bulk lot, I believe. They never said it was new, it just seemed new. It was wrapped up. So we'll load Yoshi's Island again and see if it saved. And it looks like it has. Not too sure what button, score. Yeah, there's our 20. So it is our save file. So saving does work on this, which is another great thing to have, obviously. I think next we'll try our ROM hack. This is Super Ryu World. It's a great little ROM hack. It's not too difficult. It's, well, I died already. It's a lot harder than vanilla Mario World, but it's nowhere near as hard as other Kaizo games. There we go. I played this years ago when it first came out. Didn't get very far in it, but it is a good ROM hack to test. Whoops. It's fine. Not supposed to jump there. So ROM hacks work fine. I think we will try my stock Mega Man X2 ROM just to see if that loads or if they have to be patched. So under hacks, Mega Man X2. So again, this is the stock ROM, not the one that was included. I copied this over myself. It does seem to play stock special chip ROMs. You don't need to patch it, which is great. It just occurred to me, Windows probably didn't detect the cart because it was powered off. So I might bust out my laptop again and we'll plug it in while we're loaded into a SNES game and see if it shows up. Alright, so we are running Donkey Kong Country 3 in the background, and I'm in Device Manager on my Windows laptop. Ignore the unknown device, that's part of the laptop. Just going to plug the USB cable into the top of the SD2SNES while it's turned on. And nothing seemed to happen. No new devices were added, it didn't make the usual enumeration sound, and it didn't stop playing the game. So I'm still not too sure what this port is supposed to do, but again, apparently it's just for debugging. So I might need to get a program for that. Overall, I am very, very impressed with this SD2SNES cart. Again, from what I read online before testing it, apparently this is the worst variant you can get, and I had no issues in my brief testing. I've played around an hour of games on this and haven't had any issues. Even the harder to run ones like Yoshi's Island, Doom, Mega Man X2 and 3, everything just worked fine. It loads almost instantly. The menu is pretty intuitive. You can press right to skip down pages. L and R goes to the top and bottom. It runs ROM hacks fine as well. If you do have a real SNES console and you don't want to fork out hundreds for the good games, I would recommend buying one of these flash carts. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.